I'll live with the mystery. Though it turned out he didn't have to, because somebody began yelling behind Mr. Kattenberger's closed office door. "I don't want this fucking player. Find a way to undo it." And, damn, that voice sounded familiar. Someone argued back in a low voice that Leo couldn't quite make out. "Oh, yeah?" the first voice again. "We'll just see what the lawyers say. Send him right back to Michigan or where the fuck ever." The realization that he was talking about Leo hit him like a cross-check into the plexi. And just to extinguish any lingering doubt, Becca leaped out of her chair and scrambled to tap on the office door. Then she opened it a crack and stuck her head inside to say, pointedly, "Mr. Trevi has arrived, sir." If only. His big entrance suddenly seemed a hell of a lot smaller. There was a murmured reply, after which the door was yanked all the way open. That's when Leo saw him, the coach who had once been his mentor, until the man had decided he wasn't anymore. Coach Carl Worthington leaned forward, searing Leo with his beady gaze, grimacing as if Leo were a cockroach who just scuttled in. For one fraction of a second, he felt like one too. But then his blood pressure spiked. This was a big day for him, or it had been until a minute ago. It had always been a mystery to him why this man had turned against him. And now he'd been hired as head coach of the Brooklyn team? Hello, roadblock. But fuck that. He wasn't going to let Worthington ruin this opportunity for him. Not without a fight. "Hi, Coach," he said. And maybe Leo's smile was more of a grimace, but it was the best he could manage right now. The moment dragged on while Leo stood there wondering, what was the shortest NHL career in history? 2 games? 1? If Coach Carl had his way, his might be a single hour. Leo fingered his phone in his pocket, wondering whether he could call his agent this early in the morning. The man was on West Coast time, but this probably qualified as an emergency. Coach Carl returned Leo's greeting with nothing but a nod. Leo bet the two of them looked like a pair of angry dogs who were trying to decide who'd be the first to attack. Becca cleared her throat. "Nate, would you like Mr. Trevi to wait in the lounge?" The team's owner stepped in front of Coach Carl and offered Leo his hand. He looked just like his photos, a lanky man with untamed hair and shrewd eyes. "Pleasure to meet you, Mr. Trevi. I've been following you for years. I'm a Harkness College man myself." Leo offered his hand for what turned out to be a surprisingly fierce handshake. "Hey, I remember reading that. Which house were you in?" He gave Leo a grin. "Turner, inner tube water polo champions of 2006. Congratulations." Coach Carl didn't like that bit of alumni bonding at all. While Nate Kattenberger smiled, he actually let out a little growl. But fuck him. The owner was trying to give Leo a chance, and he was grateful enough to do a little harmless ass-kissing, even if Coach already had steam coming out of his ears. "I still have a couple of Frozen 4 t-shirts from last year. I'll bring you one." "Awesome," the billionaire said, clapping him on the shoulder. "Now, if you'll excuse us, we have a press conference to prepare for. You'll be briefly introduced at the end before Coach Worthington's Q&A." "Thank you. That sounds great." Since Becca had drifted toward the door, Leo knew he was supposed to follow her, but instead, he stuck out his hand toward Coach Carl. "Good to see you, sir." There was a very awkward beat while Leo waited to see what he'd do. The coach's eyes narrowed, as if sensing a trap. Then, having little choice, he grasped Leo's hand, giving it a bruising shake that threatened to break his arm in half. He muttered something that was supposed to be a greeting, and Leo refrained from giving him an inappropriate smirk. Having survived the handshake, Leo turned his back on him and followed Becca into the hallway again, feeling victorious. "I'm taking you to HR first," she said. "There's paperwork, and then someone will walk you into the lounge where the rest of the team will gather for the press conference." "Thanks," he said, tugging at his necktie. He was experiencing a very quick come-down from the high of forcing Coach Carl to be civil, because playing for a man who hated his guts would probably end in disaster. He'd been so ready to celebrate this milestone, but now that seemed premature. Instead, he'd be putting in a call to his agent.
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.